Group D. Kicking off immediately. Krasu versus Cenobite. Okay, Pizzeria, Krasu. Looking for a quick start. Got the win in round 1 off the back of a 10-hook performance. Handily defeating the 5-hook total presented to her. Looking for an even better game here. Find Siri. Already has a mushroom. That is a shame. That won't connect. This might. Does not. The M1 could be in play. Here it is. There we go. There's the leeching. There's the head form. They're going to go for the mushroom immediately. Ooh. No vault there is absurd. Wow. Okay, very impressive from Siri there. Very impressive restraint. That's around. Big opportunity here. Takes advantage. Okay. You feel like she needed that dying state after what was looking like a tough opening chase. Okay, and off she goes on patrol. And finds a gen moving. Oh, but isn't able to do anything about it. What a shame. Pop Goes a Weasel would have been absurdly good there. Just always a corner for Quentin here. Doesn't connect. What a shame. That does. Look for the M1 as well. Gets it. And the pallet. Okay, not too worried about the chemical trap. And this is going to be too tough for her now. Way too tough for her. Gotta kick this. Quentin now around 1 pallet. This is going to be tough for him as Siri's moving in, looking for a hit. Okay, head form it is. There's the M1. And she's just going to pivot here. She's just going to pivot. The person taking the hit there is already death hooked. That's huge. And that is very aggressive. Likely to be decisive. If it is decisive, they won't have it for too much longer. So a tactical slug here could be on the cards for Krasu. She saw some aura reading. Presumably Quentin rushing in there. But runs back the other way. Hoping for no angle for the pallet save. Hoping DS has run out. It has. If indeed it was ever in play. Okay, second hook. But there's 2 gens left. Oh my giddy aunt. What a horrifying start this is for Krasu. Getting rid of the pallet. And on she goes. There's one thing to be said, the remaining gens are in a pretty good position. Finally able to get some level of Chemagras now there. Needless to say, Ravenous is probably not going to be the perk to turn this one around. Says he unhook. As that doesn't connect, doesn't go through the window. What does that? Deary me. M1 will have to do. Has to be said, if there is a mark on this game where it moved away from Krasu, it's the lack of effective regurgitations. Not connecting in the way she needed. And I think at this point, she's probably just thinking about ways that she can salvage additional hook states. You could tunnel. Would a tunnel win you the game with 2 gens left already? Probably not. Probably not. You're probably not playing for the 4K anymore. You're probably playing to make as competitive a total as you can. And what an awful tile this is for her as well. That does connect. Good work there. Into head form. This is where she is able to close down these kinds of chases quite swiftly here. And she will be able to do so. And that'll be a huge, huge eruption as well on that gen. No basement here is a bit of a shame. Gonna have to head outside. The third-person view when carrying a survivor really exemplifies how slow you are. Arduous stuff there. A gem pops. If Krasu doesn't get here quickly enough, it'll be a gate situation. Alright, not quite popped, not yet. But she is getting not a single break out here. This is obscene stuff. Gonna check on the other gen. At the very least, pop goes a weasel there. To keep the game on side. M1. Oh, but that gen does move. There's just been no way. This has been one of the most gen-aggressive kinds of games I think we've ever seen in this tournament. As wow, pallet brought down there by Fung. Siri in trouble. Great dodge of the regurgitation. They're very good as well around these pallets, has to be said. Okay, and they've turned into Fung Min, which is a neat trick, I suppose. Gonna pick up immediately. Maybe they don't expect this. They certainly don't, and it will be a hook. Gotta go headphones, gotta keep these gates under patrol as much as possible. Where on earth did Siri go then? As that'll be the gate open and Dwight will be away. They'll get the unhook immediately, and it looks like it's all over. It looks like it's entirely over for Krasu here. And just trying to body block, trying to get him away from the gate there. What has Dwight just done? What on earth has Dwight just done? Dwight may have just robbed Cenobite of an easy 3 points right there. Oh, as Quentin is doing his utmost. But he's not able to! See you later, sunshine. Okay, that might be an additional 3 hooks for the Krasu, which might just make her total that bit more competitive. Nice, Dwight handing Krasu an absolute gift there. And that will be 7 hooks. When she was staring down the barrel of 4 just seconds earlier, she will absolutely take that. But what a tough game. What a tough game it is. Just leave. Could have just left. Cenobite on Dead Dog Saloon. 7 hooks a total from Krasu. It was looking even more bleak for her, and then Dwight gives away 3 hooks by refusing to leave. That makes Cenobite's challenge all the trickier. This will not be anything like a foregone conclusion. Trying to get the gateway through the banister there. A risky play, doesn't quite pay off. As there is totem cleansing from Dwight Fairfield. There you go. Nothing wrong with the hearing of the Cenobite here. Very good work there. Looking for a gateway. Oh, God, I must have put that, in fact, in front of Dwight. Okay, just going to teleport here. Needs a chase that isn't around Saloon. And the chase with V could be exactly that. Slow Volt not punished. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. You feel like Cenobite needed that injury there. So away goes V. And the gateway not connecting. This is the thing with Cenobite. We've seen it time and time again. If he has to think about where to place the gateway so often, he'll come up empty-handed. Pallet gets dropped. Connects that time. There you go. Needs to be much more instinctive with the gateway placements. As V fakes out, we'll drop Shack Pallet here. No! Caught in 2 minds. Can't quite find it within herself to bring the pallet down. That'll be an injury. There's another gateway. This will have to be the pallet being brought down now. No! Oh my God, and the slow vault does enough again. That is gutting for Cenobite, and this is a chase that he could ill afford at a time that he can ill afford it. Box is moving again. There's the vault. It's wide open throttle. The gateway. They do finally bring down Shack Pallet, and why not? They have a good thing going here. This might be a hugely overlong chase for Cenobite. He just can't find a way to take himself away. He needs this hook. He needs it desperately. Oh. And in the end, it's this hook that does him in. This is just not the Cenobite that we have been accustomed to in previous tournaments. Something is very, very wrong with him. And he's got to leave. He needed to make that call far sooner. And the gateway was in a good position. But he didn't believe in himself. His confidence is at an all-time low. He's going to get Pentimento out there. If that doesn't sum up his game so far, I don't know what does. Just missing the rekindle. Has to go back. Getting the regression. But what a tough game it's been. And the situation he was trying to avoid earlier with the saloon loop. He's found himself in it. He needed that to connect. He needed a way to get the injury, especially around basement there. Okay. Fung not able to ascend the stairs. And then clicks a torch there. Oh, God. He's not finding a way to punish anything right now. Pentimento's gone. Nothing is going Cenobite's way right now. Can he connect to the gateway? No. Oh, but Fung makes a poor move. It's a dead end. Hits a cul-de-sac, and it will finally be the first hook. But that is nothing like the start that Cenobite wanted or needed. If you've learned anything from that opening exchange, you can't chase V, you probably can't chase Dwight. That leaves only Hinako, who has not been spotted at all. Good gateway there. But he's back up on Saloon. He's back up on Saloon. He's going to kick the door immediately. Dwight heads back to the gen immediately, runs away, looking for the window. Doesn't get it before the gateway. Will the gateway do all that much? Doesn't look like it. The gateways just aren't connecting as much as they need to, and when they do connect, they're not doing all that much. Has to be said. Good gateway there. And that leaves Dwight in a very, very tough situation. M1 there. Little spin around, doesn't do too much. And you were hoping that he would stick around the saloon. He doesn't, but then he does come back, and he wants that window again. Oh, God, and now it's Cenobite's turn to get stuck on the stairs. What a comedy of errors this is turning into. And what a heartening situation it is for Krasu. Saw someone on the gallows, went for a long-range gateway. I don't think I've seen a less confident killer than our Cenobite right here. He's not getting anything going, and he knows it as well. And the more the misses stack up, the less confident he'll get. There is a chain hunt around the corner, assuming they're not able to get the box out there. Oh, the gateway connects, but it doesn't stop them getting a quick vault, as there's Hinako. And this is an untested survivor so far, this trial. Could this be the way that Cenobite brings this back? Awful gateway, you're not going to do it like that. You're not going to do it like that.
The box.
And right back to Saloon, where it's just been a tale of absolute woe for Cenobite. So he's going to teleport elsewhere, go after Feng Min, and find some way of bringing this game back, because this has been torrid so far. A torrid, torrid time. Okay, gives up the free hit there. A rare mistake that Cenobite will be happy for, but is it all too little too late? Good gateway, won't do anything, quick vault. One chain connects outside. There's Dwight suddenly in the equation. Takes an injury there. This could be a big opportunity. That's a good gateway. Maybe the best so far, and it could be very, very important. It will be a dying state. Okay, could a gateway like that spur Cenobite on to bigger and better things? Certainly these pain res will have it on the left.
Oh, please. No tears.
Painless hits another gem, which is very concerning, seeing as how much this gem also has. As there goes Pentimento. Also movement here. I mean, there is really strong movement on at least 3 of the remaining 4 gens. That is so concerning. There's the unhook. There's the box. Not much you can do about that. trying to wait as long as possible for exhaustion to pass, but, sorry, endurance to pass, but of course it won't. They'll get the window. Someone's plot twisted out there somewhere. Very little chance that Cenobite will be able to find them, but does get this gem aggressive. And there's still aggression on the gallows gen. Okay, well, maybe. As Fung is clicking a torch at someone. Oh, Fung's been recovered from the dying state when they were trying to plot twist. And they were clicking at whoever did that. That alerts Cenobite to their presence. It's a big mistake from the team. If only Cenobite could hit a gateway worth a damn. Can he get this dying state? It looks like he will. Could be dead hard. Fung is done with this one. They're not happy about how that transpired. That could be huge. Absolutely massive for Cenobite. Only thing is, can't get a painless hook here. Looking to deny them this gen with a well-placed gateway. It's not bad. It's not bad. Hinako will have to break the chains. Okay, they actually don't get the Saloon gem, which is what Cenobite feared. They get the Gallows gem, which does mean that Deadlock is in effect on the Saloon. Hinako already has so much distance. And there goes the box over there. Good gateway. Is that enough to stop them getting to the window before the injury? Of course not. Of course not. Is it even worth going for Pentimento here? And all roads have led back to V, and this is not a chase that Cenobite would have wanted. There is a drop. There's the injury. There's wide open throttle. It'll be a trade. It'll be a trade. Hinako up there. You really don't want them to commit to this gen. Oh, as Fung doesn't have the angle, but it doesn't matter. They get the gem. Desperately hoping to buy just a little bit more time for that next pain res hook. Right, fascinating situation here as you have 4 hooks, 7 the total for the tie. That's a very quick unhook there. The safest course of action, if there can be said to be a safe course of action here, might be to go for Hinako, who holds 3 hooks in their possession. A whiff with the gateway. No injury. You're not getting Dwight. You're not getting Dwight unless he plays very, very silly on the line here. Which he may have just done. No, the beacon is there so he can crawl out. Oh, what a story it would have been if you had 2 Dwights refusing to leave, gifting these killers 7 hooks apiece. It doesn't quite happen. You're assuming the other gate is open. The only hope really for Cenobite here is that they're working on it, but they're not, and they're gone. And it's 4 hooks, and it's a dismal loss. Another 7-4 loss. Our second 7-4 scoreline of the tournament, if you can believe it. Nasty stuff. Krasu gets to win. Very good tournament for her so far. On the back of 2 not great performances. You might say lucky. Cenobite. Nasty second game there. Chucky versus Singularity. Chucky on the Temple of Purgation. He's loving life. He's hoping for a good result in round 2. He laughs for a while, doesn't he? He's a fun-loving guy. He's been the heart and soul of the tournament so far in the green room. But don't get it twisted. He is all business right here, searching for the opening gen and a sign of where the survivors have gone. Movement there. I'll be finding them soon, so going to go into slice and dice mode. Some movement here. And there's Dwight. Good injury, good start. Well. In a day of the World Cup that has been filled with bad chases and lengthy periods of time without an injury, kind of refreshing to see an injury that soon. Dwight hangs around. Gets around this way. Just waiting for the dash to come back, not quite able to make a play on the pallet there. Oh, if Dwight had just turned around the corner, I don't think there was anything Chucky could have done, but pivoted to the left, looked for the window, and it played right into Chucky's hand. There's someone doing a white glyph. I've not seen that in a very, very, very long time. And honestly, Chucky's after them. They're the only survivor with any element of aura reading. Their friends to the end. They're exposed. Going to close down the gap a little bit. And is there going to be an opportunity for an exposed hit right here? No, friends to the end has already passed, unfortunately. However, there might still be the opportunity for the injury. They've really got around him there. And this is a bit too ambitious for a dash, right? Oh, no it isn't! No it isn't. That is absurdly good. A very good injury there. Oh, I was looking for Pop Goes the Weasel. And Blast Mine is actually going to deny the Pop Goes the Weasel value. That is gutting for Chucky there. What a frustrating situation. So there's no movement downstairs. Can I get back to the gen? Because Tae Young was hanging around. There he is. M1. Is there still time for the dash after the fact? No, not quite. Deary me. And it is a game punctuated by very unfortunate close timings there. And you've seen it on a couple of occasions. As they get the window. They'll presumably get the pallet here. Chucky gonna go for the... Going for the dash. Sent off somewhere else entirely. And in a game plagued by misfortune, some kind of server issue there has hurt Chucky. The bitrate is stable, so that is all server side, and it's dreadfully unfortunate, and now he's got to go elsewhere. Deary, deary, deary me, no clue what that was. And all of a sudden, after what looked like a promising start, he has one hook, and there's already 2 generators left. These games have been diabolically difficult for these killers. No one's getting let off the hook here. Well, they are, and that's kind of the point. Looking for a dying state. Not going to get it. They have the corner. Oh, but they take a weird line there. But here comes the body blocks, and again, this is what we've been seeing. Ridiculous coordination, very good bloops, and just not a look-in for these killers. Not a look-in for any of these killers. It's Thalita. 6 on the pallet here. Takes a dying state. Eruption on that gen. Very important. Looking for the hook. And we'll get it. Half expecting a pallet stun there if other teams have been playing. And it will be hook number 2. Gonna swing by the eruption gem. Make sure that's not moving anymore. It certainly is. This will be a huge Pop Goes a Weasel kick. Oh, an opportunity for an injury here on Rebecca. Well played, has to be said. Oh, but then takes a 3 hit under the pallet. Gets a gem regressing, gets rid of the pallet. Okay. A situation like that could be very, very good for Chucky. But only 2 gens to play with. Maybe needs to take stock of the other gens, how they're moving. And there is plenty of movement here. Looking for the dying state. Come on! He just isn't getting anything going his way here. He's not making bad plays. Right, hoping for something here. It was a good little prediction there. It wasn't a bad mind game around the pallet. Is there any chance that Chucky can fool Dwight here? How's the aura reading? Should force a pallet burn here. Yep. But, I mean, is that enough? Is that enough? Really needs eruption. Now desperately needs eruption. Pop Goes Weasel Gene gets popped. And here's another survivor for a body block. What on earth is going on this tournament? How is that a hit on Tae Young, who was miles away? Another hit from Dwight, who was crouching right there. I am incensed on Chucky's behalf. This has been one of the most unfortunate killer games of all time. I can't believe what I'm witnessing. It is daylight robbery of Chucky here. Someone check Singularity's bank account. Has there been some kind of payment to the entity? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. And there goes the last gen. Of course it will. This is a mockery of all things Dead by Daylight. What's that then? What the hell is that then? What's that when it's at home? Oh my dearie me. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. Oh, they're deemed to give Chucky a hit there. What a generous and beneficent entity we have. Right. Very important hook here. Every hook that Chucky gets makes him that bit more competitive in the matchup here, but still obviously a lot of work to do and no endgame to speak of here. No way out. You might be seeing a little bit more no way out. Generally speaking, the killers who've run no way out have just been able to get that little few extra hooks. The killers without have been left utterly bereft. Good injury there. Gate's open, but they'll be on the other side of the map. Great opportunity here with Dalita. Someone's left already. Oh, it's this gate. Hang on.
Run, dipshit.
I had no notion of this being the gate that was open, but it doesn't matter. Chucky gets the hook. It's basement here. It isn't, of course. No such luck. Dwight and Taeyong both heal. Very surprising the survivor leaves immediately there. It makes their job just that bit more difficult. For the rescue, for the save, for the unhook. No lights on that gate. As there's Dwight. Needs the M1 here. Gets it. Dwight's going to head to the gate. But a big opportunity for Chucky with the lengthier dash. Oh, come on. Oh my god, these Dwights keep on playing it so greedily and so scarily on the gate, and Chucky can't do anything unless he can get a body block going here. 15 seconds. I mean, it's such a gargantuan amount of time you need to buy. And yeah, it's not going to work. 5 hooks for Chucky. I'm not going to lay any of that at Chucky's feet. He's been robbed. He has been absolutely robbed by every element of that chase. Easy, get good. There we go. Marvellous. What a brilliant way to punctuate a show of a game. That is a sadness. That is an absolute sadness. GG, well played. Good luck with next. Alright, Singularity. Chucky had a really tough go of it there. And Singularity has every opportunity of getting what would be a surprise win here on Dead Sands. Looking to cover as much of the map as possible with biopods. Gen movement there. Oh, and someone behind this boulder, right? Wrong. Okay. Very confusing situation there. Still wants to go around, wants to make sure that these areas are covered with biopods. And we'll find Taeyong right here. Gets the injury, doesn't want to give away the gen. One biopod left. Putting that down there. Right, then do you see Taeyong with the biopod? Is there a chance of a slipstream? Where could he have gone? Oh, still by the rock. That is very surprising. Good stuff there. Oh, doesn't even need to teleport. Oh, there's force hesitation. Okay. This is using the field to great effect. Going to try and get the slipstream out there as well. There it is. And not going to slug. Going to come back for the hook. Remembering, of course, that it's only 5 hooks. Doesn't need to go all out here for the 4K. Certainly not if you're giving up easy hooks in doing so. So, gets the injury, gets a slipstream, gets the hook, and moves on. And also gets pop on a very concerning gen. That is massive. Massive. The Singularity right here. Is there one? Some gen movements over here. Here comes Hinako, who's not able to get rid of the slipstream in time, and it should be another dying state here, barring a body block. There is someone in the vicinity, but they don't make any kind of play. Says he on hook. Oh, they've got an EMP as well, so maybe the slipstream not entirely worth it there. Could be another hook.
Gene integrity, 43%.
Just really quickly checking on the area here. Another slipstream. Oh, looking for the teleport. Not able to make it happen. Will be an opportunity here. They bring the pallet down. Singularity could have swung there. Didn't. Just didn't have the presence of mind to do so. Tae Young, is this your first time against Singularity here? Possibly. Uses live, gets away. But surely it won't happen again. Just gets a dying state there. Very close. Really testing the limits of the lunge, and this will be the third hook. 6 hooks to win condition, and Singularity is halfway there with 4 gens still in play. There is an opportunity for a teleport, but I guess the range not quite there. There it is. Okay, they just stepped into range. Fortunate stuff for Singularity. If they've just held up, they would have been in trouble. There's another teleport. There's the injury. Doing great work with the overclock. Survivors not understanding or just mistiming their pallet stuns. That'd be another dying state. But it is a 2-gen game. And we're seeing it again. Games that are not looking that bad seem to be going quite well. But then gen, and all of a sudden Singularity is under pressure again. Hoping that Hinako emerges here. Oh god, and she does! But not in the way that Singularity was imagining. Waiting for them to turn the corner. Good slipstream. Into Shack. Ooh, out of Shack. And there you go. There's the anti-camp denied. Come on. There's the teleport. That's what he needed. Pallet's dropped. Hinako here. Dying state. Exactly what Singularity needed. Forced hesitation. Injury there. Pallet's gone. And Tae Young is just not working out what this is all about and how to counter the Singularity. And it will be a dying state. And this will be, assuming the hook goes through, this will be the tie confirmed. And then, if Singularity can get back to Hinako, it will be the win. Can it do it? There are scratch marks around. There's the recovery. And there's Rain. And there's Claudette. And there's the injury. Okay, so put the champagne back in the bucket for now. Singularity's not done it yet, but things are looking good. Things are looking very good. And with this hook, the victory and all 3 points. And as we all anticipated, Chucky's 5 hooks just are not enough. There's a slipstream. Look for the teleport. Gets it. Oh, as Tae Young was setting up on the pallet again. Lesson almost not learned for maybe a 4th time.
Material secured.
Material secured, victory secured, and now it's all about getting as many hooks as possible.
Minor alterations.
Singularity, not a killer you'd expect to be winning the group. A killer who may well end up in the 3rd place conversation. Strongest 3rd place, you'd be relying a lot on hook differential there. So, needs as many hooks as he can get. Injury on Rain. Hinako in the mix. Back to Rain. Teleport there. Not able to break the pallet. Weird positioning with the teleport. Shouldn't matter. Dying state there. Through it all, you are wondering how the gens are looking now.
Genetic material.
Hinako's over there, but maybe Claudette's found a way to get on the gen. Worth considering. And there is some movement over there. As away goes Singularity. Looking to apply the Biopod, gets the slipstream, and forces them out. Nothing they can do. And that will be a 2-survivor situation. And remember, as if this game state weren't enough, no way out is in the back pocket here. So even if they do find a way of rallying and getting this final gen, it's still going to be tough to find a way out the gates. Oh, not quite getting the teleport there. Very, very close. Is that the second hook for Hinako here? Don't be too confused by the weird hook statuses on the left there. That's a visual bar. Rain will be Death Hook now.
Terrible construction.
See whether they stick around for any kind of save. Obviously, we'll be looking to deny Hatch here as well. If you can find Rain before that is even a possibility, all the better. And there's the unhook. Rain and Hinako both just walking along. Very sorry sights there. Not a great Biopod. Really wanted it on the back wall. Oh, but it's not enough to maybe confuse Rain. Will they fake out the pallet? Yes. Well played by Singularity. But now you have a Hatch game. Now you have a Hatch denial situation.
You will be elevated to something more.
Scratch marks. Leading. It looks like away from Shaq. Singularity going to stay here. And just shut the door on any notion of the escape. Okay. Can it find Hinako anywhere around here? It's again, presumably. This is where they've gone, indeed. No way out over there. GG. GG. What a win. And listen, was it an unfortunate situation for Chucky? Certainly. But take nothing away from Singularity, who has performed incredibly well, exactly when it needed to. Right. So a dominant 12-5 victory for Singularity, and a much-needed victory. Singularity was languishing at the bottom of the table. Now, there is life in the machine. As we go now, woof. Ghoul versus Huntress. There'll be a clear fan favourite for this one. After this quick break. As it's Suffocation Pit for Ghoul. They're facing off against Huntress. As in all Ghoul games, they will not be the fan favourites here, but they'll be trying to do their very best to continue winning ways. Got the 4K last game, which is only good for 1 point. Someone. That's what we call the old Ghoul effect right there. An immediate DC before a move has been made, and misses on the bite. Very poor from Ghoul, and takes the pallet. And that is not how they wanted to have, how they would have wanted to have started this game. There's a bot. Something going wrong with Ghoul here. Not able to connect with some of these leaps and some of these fights. Does get the injury on the bot, and a big opportunity here for a dying state as bot will burn the pallet. Ghoul moving around. Oh wow. The bot fakes out the pallet, which is not something you usually expect to see. That'll be a nice early pain rose hook for Ghoul. There'll be a lot of, as there always is, a lot of consternation among the fans, the viewers, about the early DC. The rules are very clear. Once the game starts, the game has started. If a survivor DCs, well then you can view that as the intimidation factor of the killer working in their favour, but there will not be a replay here. And obviously it's a huge assist for the Ghoul. There'll be another injury. Is Meg moving around? Oof. Not able to get the hit there. Not able to get the hit there. Kind of defeated around Shaq. Back on Meg. And look for the M1. Do they go window immediately? They do not. Good play from Meg. Good play from Meg, but looks like it could be the M1 here. Try to fake out, but it's not the tile for such a move. And that will be another hook. Will it be another pain res before a single gen pops? No. There goes the first. There goes the second. Wow. Talk about a fight back from the survivors here. That is massive. Does manage to get the injury around Shaq. There's the vault. In fact, that didn't even consume a pain res token, that second hook, so no progress on the gens and a really, really tough situation for the Ghoul. Music to the ears of the Huntress team. Look for the bites. Gets it. Racking up the love points here, racking up the enraged with all these perfectly timed bites. That's definitely one area that they are excelling at. Can they get the dying state here on the bot? Yes, they can. But this game is not over. That double gem pop. I think there would have been a lot of a feeling among the viewers. This was the same old situation. Ghoul gets a DC, Ghoul gets a quick dying state, Ghoul gets pain res to get the gens out of control, and Ghoul gets another 4K. Maybe a twist in the tail. Maybe a twist in the tail right there with those gens hopping almost in tandem. This game might just be a little bit more interesting than that. We will see. Decent leap there into a good bite. We'll certainly be looking for that pain res hook here on Rebecca. Won't quite be able to get the leap in time to deny the window. Cancels out. Will be the M1. Is it the immediate pallet drop? It is. 5 moves ahead that looked like, but that still won't be enough. Great fake out from Rebecca. Well done there. Oh, but not able to get the vault. But Rebecca wasn't anticipating that. Keeps on running, and they don't get to the next pallet. And right by the pressure point, right by the scariest gen, Ghoul may get back into the pain res rotation. And does, and assuming... No, this isn't the gen that gets hit with pain res. Fascinating. There's a scarier gen, presumably on the other side of the map, and that's where Ghoul is going to leap immediately. Will they be able to get there? Here it is. Do they get it? Oh, they run off preemptively there. Ghoul going to get the kick. As they're around the back of the boulder, probably gone off to the Z wall here. There's the M1 on Meg. Big opportunity here for Ghoul. Massive opportunity. Right there. M1 in tow. Dying state. And you'll remember, of course, pain res not used on Meg previously. We'll be needing to do that right now. Bit of a delay until Meg started wiggling, it seems. So maybe there is an opportunity to go a bit further afield and get this pain res, certainly. No question about it. Another pain res. And another opportunity to Ghoul. For Ghoul, sorry, to take back this game that did threaten. Just threatened to move away from them. Oh, but the gem pops. And if Ghoul could have held onto that one, it would have looked really tough all of a sudden for the survivors. They get it. They have another gen moving at pace. Oh, they take an injury under the pallet. That is not what they wanted. And the M1 could be in play. It's nasty, diabolical stuff from Ghoul. That's exactly what we expect, and it will be another pain res hook. And that will keep that gen stalled further. And there's only one thing on Ghoul's mind now. Meg Thomas. Where are they? Are they healing under the hook? There's Serena, there's the bot. The bot is also a really good candidate for a chase right now. And that is what Ghoul is going to do. Just get to the window before Ghoul's able to make any kind of move. Looking for the hits. We'll get it. It won't be the bites, but it will be the M1. And if Ghoul can close this down right now, as the bot takes a surprising line away from Shaq. As the bot goes around the tile here. Medium Volt punished. And it has to be said, things might be moving squarely back in Ghoul's direction. It all depends on... Obviously, there's pressure on that gen over there. Is there another gen moving? If the survivors can really quickly find themselves in a gate situation, well, then that might become very, very tricky for Ghoul. As Rebecca gets the gen that Ghoul knew about. It's that pressure point that they've been holding onto for quite a while. Brings down the pallet. Ghoul looking to recharge the leap. And does. Gets the bite as well. That's a play that Ghoul had to make. Ghoul firmly on the clock now. 3 survivors left. There's still plenty of opportunities to drop hooks here. As Rebecca doesn't go for the window. In fact, moves away from Shaq entirely. Trying to get through the pallet. Oh, good play for Rebecca. Sincerely, a very good play from Rebecca there. Big situation here. Do they vault? They do not. They fake out. Could be dead hard. But it won't do anything even if it is because they're already deep wounded. So M1 from Ghoul. Out of pain res stacks now. Ooh, and that hook is not available. Thankfully, there is a close one over here. I say thankfully. A lot of people will be squarely rooting against Ghoul there, so we'll be upset to see the presence of that hook. Good news for the Ghoul fans. I used the plural very respectfully. They get the final gen. But now it's a whole world of hurt for these survivors. No way out, 4 stacks of it. None are free, 4 stacks of it. No pallets, no windows. Everything is blocked. It is a nightmare situation if you're Dalita. There's a drop pallet. A drop pallet, the only thing that provides any solace in such a situation, but Dalita not quite able to make it over there. There's the unhook, tapping the gate. That'll be 9 hooks for Ghoul. It would be very surprising if that hook ends up being their last. Has to be said. There's the unhook over there. Okay. Okay. So now the survivors need to play a very, very safe, stealthy game. Evade Ghoul's glance. And then find a way of staying in the trial until the gates are operable. Ghoul going to head back. Oh, and not quite able to connect with, looks like Meg Thomas over here, who will not bring the pallet down. Fascinating. This will be the M1. Maybe a time to play it a little bit safer than that. The leap connected. Did it connect on Meg or did it connect on the wall? Very interesting question, because if it connected on Meg, it also would have slowed her down while Ghoul vaulted. Blocking the window there. Oh, you've got to hand it to Ghoul. A half-decent play. Gets a hook here. But if the survivors are playing efficiently, and there's no reason to believe they have not been playing efficiently, they should have the gates right now. Meaning that it will be 10 hooks, and that looks exactly like it will be the case. Rebecca's out. Dalita's out. It is 10 hooks. A decent score. Probably a par score, but beatable. Very, very beatable for Huntress. We'll see how it goes. Okay, Huntress on the disturbed ward here. 10 hooks for the draw, 11 hooks for the win. Ghoul has left the door ajar. Can Huntress step through? We will see. As maps go, it's neither good nor bad. It's very neutral. This map for Huntress, I would say. Has an opportunity, looking for an early injury here. And that is an incredible start for Huntress. Wow. No notion of that connecting. Really just thinking about zoning them for the first element of the chase, but does incredible work. Ace fakes out the window. And this should be the M1 on the dying state. What a start. And it will be pain res. Huntress has arrived. Top work. Okay. So, whichever gen they started on will be nicely regressing there. There is a survivor off to the corner. There's a little bit of movement in main. Huntress really wants to avoid main building chases if at all possible. Maybe take more chases out in the open like this. Oh, as they run past. Big opportunity here, Huntress. Big opportunity. Oh, trying to be patient there, but decent lines from V. As there's no pallet burn there. Opportunity for Huntress. Do they get around this? Oh, they do. That's tough. That's really tough. No pallet drop. It'll be the M1. Will be the M1. Does he unhook off to the right? Oh, as there was no dodge offered by V, so Huntress being unbelievably patient there, but just gave V the opportunity to get around the corner. Opportunity here, baby. Okay, okay. Amazing start, of course. But things have taken a turn here with V. Always V. Isn't it always V? Okay. Another opportunity. Another chase on another tile. No pallet here for V. Pallet over there. Not finding a way to connect again. Can't make that happen. Oh, and the frames, again, at the worst possible times. V is just not burning any of these pallets. This is so tough. This could be the pallet burn now. It won't be. Hoping to catch at least a trailing ankle there. Isn't able to do so and might have to leave V. There's Nancy, who's just hanging around for some reason. Gets a flashbang, but honestly has probably just given Huntress a real opportunity to chase anyone who isn't V after all that. Oh, okay. Dead hard? An unbelievably well-timed dead hard? No, they've not been hooked. Okay. Answers on the postcode, please. Not too sure right now. Oh, and can't punish the pallet burn there. Put the hatchet too low. There's another blind. What could that have possibly been to give endurance mid-chase like that? So there goes 2 gens. Well, can't worry about it now. Got gens to regress. Deary, deary me. And have you ever seen a game go from so... and a viewpoint go from so optimistic to so pessimistic over the course of just a couple of minutes? This is agonizing stuff for Huntress, and it looks currently like Ghoul is going to sleepwalk into another 3 points. Goodness gracious me, a couple of gens pop. Everyone's healed up. Gen movement over here. Gotta get the gen regressing. Couple of survivors on the left. Staying around Shack, it looks like. Nope, someone has left. This does leave someone else in the vicinity. It's Ace. Well, and so far Ace has been the only survivor actually vulnerable to Huntress in any way. That misses through the window. Another gen pops. Big opportunity here. Good play from Ace to not give an immediate line of sight. Oh, that doesn't hit. Well. Good hit there. Look for the M1. Oh, doesn't immediately go for the window. Has the Z. Vaults it. Runs back. Huntress being looped on the Z. Oh, Ace just flees it entirely, and that's the one thing that Huntress did not guard against. Dead hard, and V in the situation as well. And that doesn't hit. So many near misses with these hatchets. And it feels like you had a brief respite with the Singularity game. With the Ghoul game, you're back to the hell lobbies. Huntress, don't get it twisted, is in hell right now. And she cannot find a way out. She's got to reload. And what can you even do? It starts with a hatchet connecting. It starts with some good patience. Good work there from Huntress. And leaves an option open for a hatchet. Oh, when you don't think they'll dodge, they'll dodge. When you do think they'll dodge, they just stick with it. Nancy Wheeler. If there's a way back, it could be via Nancy Wheeler, who has just given away a play there. Could be for the people. It'll be for the people. It'll probably be We're Gonna Live Forever. It might not be We'll Make It. Oh, but it's a moot point if you can't hit a hatchet like that. It is We're Gonna Live Forever. The one thing that may buoy the hopes of Huntress and the Huntress team is that the team may now not be worried about the gens. They may be focused on memeing, getting value from their perks, trying to, for lack of a better term, rage bait Huntress here. In that situation, Huntress could find a kernel of opportunity. You get a hook, you get pain res. One gen game, you're keeping that gen stalled out. You need to reload, and then you need to try and turn 2 of those injuries into quick dying states, firstly with a reload. So there's not too much movement there. That was where pain res ignited as Lara Croft has sprint burst, but uses it very, very, very poorly. And that will be another dying state. This could be huge for Huntress right now. Might want to hold on to pain res here, with there being quite little gem movement. Another hook there. Remember, doesn't need the 4K. Needs 10 hooks, 11 for the win. Healing on the hook, just getting away. But there will be 2 survivors here. Needs so much to go right. Additionally, if you're Huntress, do you really want to chase V here after what they've been able to do up to this point? Maybe not. There's the unhook. Trying to just dink a hatchet over the boulder. Oh, not enough dip on it there, unfortunately. As there's Nancy Wheeler. And so much Dead by Daylight is about choosing your targets, and there's a lot of reasons why you'd go after Nancy in this situation. And just coming up short time and time again. Do they get the flashbang? Of course they do. Of course they do. But does well, does Huntress stay on them in spite of the blindness? That'll be the M1. Nice to try and get into main. We'll just have enough distance to get around the corner. How gutting. What a good little play that could have been. There is a chance that they've done something like this with Lucky Break. No. No, it wasn't a bad prediction with the situation as it was. They were still in main there. No one's tapped the gates for No Way Out yet. It is obviously the last gen popping, which is a crying shame. You're hoping to have a little bit more time than that. What are you relying on here if you're Huntress? Slugging. Trying to get as many people into the dying state as possible. Hoping for altruism. Hoping for arrogance, cockiness, bravado. Hoping for Nancy Wheeler, and that will be a dying state. Okay, absolutely massive. That'll be for the people again from Ace Visconti. No, it won't actually. Maybe he doesn't have it charged up. He does. Damn shame, but still opportunities here. Plenty of them. Injury there on Lara is absolutely massive. No pallet here, that was broken earlier. Dying state. You feel like Huntress has to get a hook here. The flashlight on the right, the flashbang on the left, the fog valve for some reason. If it's bad, it's here. Huntress, I remind you, is currently in hell. But taking the chase away from the gates is really good for Huntress. Again, one thing that could send this in her direction, as you're really hoping that some of these hatchets can start connecting. One thing that could send this in her direction is the ability to get a hook distant from the gates. It could be Nancy, it could be V. Oh, but no hatchets remaining. And just moving ever closer to the gate with every move. And is there a chance here? Yes, there is. A real opportunity. Is the pallet close enough for the stun? With how the game's gone, probably. No. Looking for the hook as distant from the gate as possible. Can you get all the way around Shaq? Probably not. The issue is as well, you've got to reload, so you've got to hope they don't go for the immediate unhook. Give Huntress time to get her hatchets back. And here she is. She's back. Okay. And again, the one thing that might work in Huntress's favour is the notion that these survivors do not want to let anyone go here. They want the 4E. They'll feel like they've earned the 4E. But in that notion lies real opportunity for the Huntress. Has 4 hooks right now. It's clearly not enough. But in an endgame like this, the hooks can add up very, very, very fast. You're looking for someone like Nancy Wheeler to make a mistake on the unhook, play too aggressively, take a dying state all of a sudden. You'll have Ace Visconti and Lara having to make a play. Talking of Lara, there she is. You need to get sight of all your survivors here. You can't let anyone take you by surprise. At the moment, just Intel on Lara, who is inching closer. Rearing up with a hatchet right now, preparing for the play. They could just leave, take the 3E, and dash Huntress's hopes right now. Ace Visconti takes the M1. The M2, I should say. Or gets around, allows for the body block. Plenty of opportunities here for a dying state on someone. This has to connect with someone. It connects with no one. This has to connect with someone. It connects with the wrong person. This has to connect with Ace Visconti. It connects with Lara. Everything's going wrong. It will still be the M1 on Ace. Dead hard. It misses! M1 there. There's no hope. It might be all over. It's all over. And that is a real summation of some of these games that we've been seeing today. 4 hooks for Huntress. Ghoul got the win. Huntress got the loss. 22 points for Ghoul, 16 points for Huntress. Let's resort that table. Alright, Krasu on top. Ghoul in second. Singularity third. Chucky in fourth. And then tied for last place. Tied for fifth. Cenobite and Huntress there. There you go. Still early days, anyone's group, but Krasu in a surprisingly dominant position. On the back of a not great hook total there. It's just the nature of the tournament, is it? I mean, Krasu actually has 3 fewer hooks than Clown. Clown has 1 point, Krasu has 6. Oh no, I've deleted this cell. Okay, it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought. Doctor on Father Campbell's Chapel here, looking for a good start to round 2 against Freddy, who will certainly be putting up a fight. As usual with Doc, going to head as middle as possible, get the static blast out there, look for intel. Gets plenty. 3 survivors on the Carnival Gen. Ooh, someone using potential energy. Say goodbye to that. M1 to get rid of that. Very, very important M1. Shot connects, I can't get the pallet, it is a dying state. Absolutely massive, and hoping for no torch save here. No torch save will be forthcoming. I'll be a bit wary of a potential Sabo. Not going to happen. Says Ada. There's the M1. And Ada trying to take a hit for Ada. Not going to be able to. There is a dying state. Okay, Doctor going to get Pop Goes Weasel out there. This might be the slightly scarier gen for Doc right now. Then looking for another hook. Another Pop Goes a Weasel and an opportunity to get both of these gens stalled out as Ada not going to free up the hook there for Doc. Oh, but does. Takes an injury. Will still be the hook here, no problem at all. No problem at all. And maybe a dying state on Ada here. Endurance hit. Pallet gone. The blind is no problem. Ada ran off to the right. Is maybe in a spot of bother right now. Shock does connect. They can't vault. It's a dying state again. Doc absolutely wants to get Pop out there again, though, and will be able to here. Plenty of time left. And then comes back for the hook. Doing the little things right is Doctor. Doing what so many killers have failed to do in this tournament. Getting honest-to-goodness value from these kick perks, and this is a massive way to protect the 2 gens that were moving in Carnival. However, the team, of course, does find another gen. Gets top gen moved. Can you find the 2 remaining survivors? There's V. Here is Jill moving in for the unhook. And we'll get it. Will be the injury. Looking for the other unhook here. Certainly won't be able to get that. And all of a sudden, it'll be everyone injured. 2 on the hook. And Ada was hanging around. Ada was hanging around. Doctor pushing them away. But might be getting even more out of this here. Will do so. Unbelievable work from Doctor. And then there was one. V somewhere out there. There's Jill crawling away. Doctor finds them and we'll get another hook. Hook's a little bit sparse. Obviously not going to have too many complaints after the start that he's made. But just having to venture a little bit far away to get the hook here. Oh, so there goes V. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Doctor has V in his sights. And it might be all over. Almost before it's begun. Looking for the recovery here. Not going to get it. Has to keep on moving. Looking for the unhook now. Looking to keep the team in the game. Oh, as it's unbreakable. It's unbreakable for Ada, so it's not all over. But my goodness, it was close there. And Ada will go around and get their friends back into this one. But still an unbelievably good spot for Doctor. But where's she going? Honestly, maybe needed to be getting the unhook immediately. Does now. Gets the unhook on Jill. Jill is running straight towards Doc here, looking to get these unhooks back in play. Forced away with the M1. And now if you're Doctor, you've got 2 survivors on Death Hook here. You're really looking for someone to leave the game. There could be just a chance. Yeah, because they get the unhook there. They'll need to move in immediately for the other save. Dying state there, but Ada will be able to get that other unhook. Ooh, they were trying to go for a body block. They do not have a huge amount of time, but they just had enough there. Just had enough. But here comes Doctor again for yet another dying state, for yet another hook. And everyone now on Death Hook with 4 gens left. It's looking like one of the most dominant displays in the World Cup so far. He spent most of his time carrying survivors from one hook to the next, and he sees another unhook right here, and Ada's running back. It's another endurance here. Are they going to get the unhook? Surely not. They will. It'll be another unhook for Doctor. It's absolutely absurd, and this will be the first domino falling. 3 survivors left. Hook simulator. Between these 2 hooks. Okay. Well, and here's the funny thing. With the tournament how it is, there's still the possibility. There was someone here. And there they are. There's still the possibility that it will be less than the 412 hooks, because Hatch is a omnipresent threat. But that will be 2 survivors remaining there. Fair play to the team who did everything they could to get the unhooks. And hey, do you know what? Fair enough. Committing to the gen. You have to respect a play like that. There's Ada. Could be dead hard. Little FOV tech on the corner. Into the locker. Not going to be decisive. Presumably they were also working the gen. As there's V. Really doesn't want to give V Shack here. The only way this could move away from Doc is by V finding Hatch. Doc's going to play it very safe. Has a lot of tools at his disposal to find survivors. So going to make sure the hatch is shut. And then going to go... Oh my word, they ran a different offering. Oh my word, it's probably Shack. It's probably Hatch in main. Can Doctor find it? Oh my dearie me. Oh my dearie me. No? No clue. No clue where it might be. And after one of the most dominant games we've seen all tournament long, concern here that he's not going to be able to seal the deal, and he doesn't. Where was it? They ran towards Shack and then they escaped. The offering was Shack and it was the only one. Was it delayed? No clue what's going on there, but a fumble in the endgame, and there's actually a chance for Freddy. RPD for Freddy. Weirdness with the hatch. Weirdness with the spawn. A lot of anger among Doctor's entourage there. That's none of Freddy's concern. He just needs to get the 4K and take a very unlikely 3 points. Why is this map so bright? Is this map brighter than usual? Is this the way that Freddy sees the world? Also, looking for the mind game has been so good for so many killers here. Will it work for Freddy? Yes, it does. Kind of. Gets the pallet, but at least closes down the gap. RBD is so kind of broadly and flatly lit right here. It's like a sitcom. It's unbelievable. The stream snare won't connect, but it does force them away from the vault, but it is finesse. Pivoting back to tap. Just keeps on running. Okay, I'm going to try and get ahead of tap with a teleport here. That doesn't quite work out. Look at the auras of survivors as well. Everything looks so grainy. This is so peculiar. Very, very strange. And I must say, I'm feeling very unconfident with how Dead by Daylight is operating today in several respects. The stream's there. Doesn't quite connect. What a shame. That's live. Daryl moving away. And just getting upstairs, so the Dream Stair won't connect there either. Well, things looking pretty grim for Freddy. Nothing like the kind of game that we were seeing with Doctor. Obviously, early days, everything can still turn around here. Okay, not too bad, and hopefully, like I say here, has to go for the Dream Stair. You can hit over there. Freddy not quite able to do so. It's a very tough palette, so the mind game not quite going to work out. Opening hook. Opening hook for Freddy really desperately needs pain res here as well. Going to go for it and hoping to get it before the first gem pops. And will. And looking for the teleport to the lobby. There's also gem movement upstairs, so we're going to try and put a stop to that. And there's a chase. Dream Stair will connect. Vittorio once again gets finesse out there. For the snare. Connects. Oh, and just confuses Vittorio. Gets the injury. Looking for more hindrance. That will connect as well. It'll be a medium vault. Oh, but not enough there for Freddy to connect with the dying state. Aha, but runs into the doorway, and that will finally be the hook obtained. Is there another pain res for Freddy over here? Needs to continue to rack up these pain reses if he's going to have any chance at all after what's been a very slow start to this game. There it is. There's Daryl on this unbelievably well-lit instance of RPD. The injury. Gonna try a cheeky mind game here, hoping that Daryl vaults immediately. Is there gonna be any chance of this? Oh, it works! Not quite in the way that he envisioned, but still, decent mind game from Freddy. Death hook for Daryl, very important. Obviously, pain res is gonna be nothing at all here. Gets to the other side of the map and looking to come back. Maybe put some pressure on the unhook if they're hanging around. Because they've unhooked. They've only just healed. There they are. Okay. There's Sable. And it is live, unfortunately. Dream Stair out there. That looks like it did connect. Almost giving away the M1 there. Very close. Very close. It looks like they, well, actually, maybe went around. There could be another mind game here for Fred. Thinking about the possibility of the unhook. Ah, they will just be able to get there, unfortunately. Freddy hoping as a maybe desperation play to secure the kill. As there is Daryl. Could still be an opportunity for making this a 3-survivor game, which Freddy really needs to do if he's going to have any chance at all here. Just running for a bit too long there. Should have brought down the pallet on the previous pass. DS makes a lot of sense though. Free drop to keep Freddy here. However, Freddy can teleport ahead and maybe make a play in that regard. That's exactly what happens. Now the team battening down the hatches, trying to run interference. Dream Snare doesn't look like it connected there, unfortunately. There's a pallet drop. Oh, just going to be able to take the hit as tap, so Freddy does have to pivot there. Yep, and we'll take the pain res. That is no problem at all. That will also help Freddy keep this game under control. Okay, going to try and get back to the lobby. Again, done a lot of good stuff by getting ahead of the survivors with these mind games. Kind of does that here, although Daryl just kept on running. And kept on running. Could this be the mind game? Could this be the mind game here? Is Daryl susceptible to another mind game? Oh, kind of. He went out into the courtyard, maybe concerned about what was happening. Okay. Much more wise here from Daryl. It's a Dream Snare. Maybe connects there. Dream Snare does not connect on that occasion. Still a big opportunity for Fred. Oh, not a million miles away. Well played. Well played. And he's got to go. This is taking too long. The reward is huge. An opportunity to get a survivor out of this game, but you can't overcommit with 3 gens left and with the 12 hooks needed. Again, you can hit over there, but Freddy not able to do so. There's the M1. Opportunity to maybe... Okay, never mind. If Sable had gone up the stairs, the teleport to the upstairs gen would have been a decent play. As Tap is just running interference here, which is honestly great news for Fred. That means there's one person not on a gen. Sable continuing the same path they were doing before. Dream Snare does connect. That's huge. The hindrance really closes down the chase. This will be the final pain res out there. Assuming you do get the dying state. Which is looking pretty tough, isn't it? Sable running good lines here. It should be the M1. It will be the M1. Is the pain res hook makeable from this position? Freddy's certainly going to go for it. Should make it pretty easily here. And then the idea, presumably, is to teleport to the other side of the map. The side of the map with all of the gens right now. And that's not where you want to teleport. Oh, and now you've got to wait. Oh. And if that isn't a big part of why Freddy continues to underperform in these tournaments, some of the weirdly finicky aspects of his tool set there. There's live for Daryl. Keeps on trying to make this happen, this dying state on Daryl, but he's just remaining elusive. Sable run interference. Tap running interference. Tap's done nothing but run interference here. Dying state for Sable, the most obvious decisive strike of all time. Freddy's not going to buy it. Freddy not buying what Sable's selling right now. Oh, is he? I thought that Tap was actually just waiting on the pallet. Was not. In fact, was not. That's actually a heal going on there. Freddy is alerted to heals when asleep survivors are doing it. Gets the recovery. Hum. This is tough. Trying to get ahead of Daryl, trying to make that one decisive move to make this a 3 survivor game, but the team, fair play to them, just doing enough to frustrate Fred. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-gen game. This could be good. This could be a good opportunity. Dream Snare. Did it connect? It did. Is it enough? It is. It is. Now, is it too little, too late? Really depends on how quickly you can get this hook. All right. Dream's there. I think Victoria may be protected from it. So ineffective. Not really a chase he can continue to take. It's a nasty 3-gen. It's about as nasty a 3-gen as you could see on this map. As there's Sable and there's Tap. Okay. Big opportunity here. Going after Sable. If it wasn't DS on Sable, by the way, one of the greatest misdirects of all time. Very likely to be. Tap again, taking a hit. At this point, anyone will do. And again, if someone's taking a hit and isn't on the gen in a spot like this, amazing. No issues at all there. So there's a dying state. Tap is unbelievably altruistic, but I think it might be hurting the team, sincerely. Right, needs to check on this gen. It's the one that hasn't been checked yet. Obviously a blown skill check over there, so that'll be his next port of call. There's still a real chance here, considering the lack of progress on the gens. Oh, there's a bit more movement here than he'd like to see. Gotta be the kick. Looking for where Sable's gone. No intel as of yet. Very happy to take this chase with Victoria. Dreams there. Doesn't quite connect. Oh, it does, actually, and the sideways movement allows for the hit through the vault now. Will this mind game work? A Sable goes this way, so either way, probably going to be finding someone here. They get away immediately. There is a heal right by the gen. Big opportunity here. Oh, they just had the pallet. They just had the pallet. Things are getting very, very intense now. There is regression on the lobby gen. That's been regressing for some time. Freddy never kicked this pallet, and that might be coming back to bite him here. Like I say here, could be dead hard. Gotta wait that out. Okay, there it is. Get this hook, and then you've got to be focusing on Tap, right? Gotta be trying to make this a 2 survivor game. There is also a world in which this is a tie, a draw. 11 hooks a total from Doctor. Freddy is moving towards it. 8th hook there, getting back to the lobby. And there's Tap. And the gen is moving. Quite a scary amount. Quite a significant amount, as there's a Dream Snare connecting. That will stop the worst aspects of Live. Tap does take the vault. Big opportunity here for Fred. Oh, okay. Okay. You always want to fake out at least once on this situation. There's a dying state. Okay. And that is a huge bit of surge value there as well that honestly might keep this game on side. For Fred. The unhook over yonder. The hook here. That's his 9th. 2 more for the draw. 3 more for the win. As back he goes. Progression still there. Scratch marks here. Vittorio. Maybe not the ideal chase on Vittorio right now. Because if Sable were to find Hatch in the end game, it would still be a loss for Freddy because he would be losing out on 2 additional hook states. He'd be finished with 10. Oh. And you do wonder if there was some aspect of a purposeful self-heal there to get Freddy away from Sable. That may have been exactly what happened. Sable on the gen. Okay, this is much more Freddy's speed. This is much more what he was looking for. There is a self-heal for Vittorio. Sable has life. Will the mind game work this time? He's tried this mind game so much. If it hasn't worked up to this point, I doubt it will now. It works! It works! Unbelievable! Oh, they will just get the pallet. There's a dream snare going around. The hindrance. Will it be enough? Will it be enough? Yes! Oh, that is a fine, fine hit. Sable up on the hook. Needs to find Vittorio. Needs to find Vittorio fast. And does! Massive opportunity. Obviously finesse there. Vittorio gets around. And assuming that Vittorio doesn't get the unhook, which seems very likely, it's at least a draw for Freddy. And it might be the most shocking result of the tournament so far. After what was an incredibly dominant display from Doctor. He might still be going home empty-handed here. Juice, they're out there. Dart just connects. They're so slow getting around the corner. That might be all she wrote. There's Dead Hard. It's a win for Freddy. It's an unbelievable win for Freddy. No one saw it coming, and if you said this was going to be happening when the Doctor was basically juggling hooks at the carnival, we would have laughed you out the room. Well, who's laughing now? Certainly not Doctor. GG, what a game. And what a way to take advantage of the situation as well. So Freddy, a huge, famous win for him, and what a shame for Doctor, who really did feel like, would have felt like he'd turned the corner after a disappointing round one, but takes his second loss. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's the magic of the World Cup for you. Hey, are you excited about this matchup? How about Dark Lord versus Nemesis coming up? Okay, Dark Lord on family residence in Yamaoka. An okay map, lots of opportunities for teleportation for bat value. That'll certainly be what he wants to get out there immediately. Looking to teleport somewhere in Maine. And finds a teleport location right there. There's no gem movement there. Nor here. The patrol coming up empty right now. No movement on the hill. Maybe it was his corner all along. Certainly is. Okay. There's the opening chase. Big opportunity here. Looking for the M1. An area where the Hellfire can easily miss out in the open around these kind of shoulder-high boulders. Gonna do that. Gonna go back. Gonna go wolf form. Get a little bit of haste and try and close down this chase very, very quickly. Could have gone bats here. A decent tile for the bats, especially with the window blocking add-on. Quick break of the pallet. Oh, just lost them. But thankfully just heard the injury noises. And gets the dying state. Trying to get an injury with the cube. Isn't quite going to be able to, unfortunate. A brief slug here while testing out the area. Hellfire. Not quite going to connect. Okay. Needs to take the hook and we'll do so. Eventually. For the shame, loses a gen. And an important gen as well, slap bang in the middle of the map. Scratch marks. Which were heading this way. No clue at where they went. Worth checking the lockers, but not quite going to work out. There's the first Devour Hope stack. A lot is riding on Devour Hope here, hoping to keep control of that via dominance. That Dark Lord Totem Preservation perk, but there goes another gen. Just a very slow, ponderous kind of start for Dracula right here. Looking for a Hellfire to connect in this corridor situation. Again, almost a carbon copy of the first interaction there. Hellfire just a little bit too slow to connect in any meaningful way. Walking around the tile like this, not quite going to work out. Wolf form though can do the business and will. There's the M1. Looking for the pounces here. Should at least force the pallet to be dropped, and does. Go bats. Teleport up ahead. There's actually no window here, unfortunately. There is one back there. That wasn't a bad move. And it should be the M1. It will be. Only just, only just. In a bit of a whiff the cube of Zoe, has to be said, the gens have popped at very inopportune times. There. Hellfire in the corridor. Great opportunity, and finally get something going with that M2. Thinking about the bats here. Oh, gets the mind game on the window. Big opportunity here, maybe with the pounce. Oh, not quite able to make that happen. And another gem pops. Just hasn't quite been good enough for Dracula here. Oh, but gets lucky. There you go, there's the cube. That's exactly why you run that add-on. And that could be so massive for the Dark Lord here, especially considering that third hook, that third Devour Hope stack is so important. Needs to get away immediately. Alright, how's the 3-gen looking? No movement on the heel. Regression on this gen, that's good to see. It's very impressive they've been getting these gens in spite of Ruin, which has not been cleansed yet. And there's the unhook. There's the third stack of Devour Hope. And Dark Lord will be looking for the 2-slug situation here. Ada caught out. M1 for the dying state. The other survivor gets away, so probably not going to slug. Probably just going to try and take the hook. Now, this is where Dracula really needs to lock in, get some hooks, and bump this score up to the realms of respectability. He has an opportunity here. As there is no movement on the heel. Need some visual intels are going to come out of the bat form. Another unhook, 4 stacks. Maury's could be incredibly important here. Or a reading as well, that's Human Greed, which is providing a fair amount of intel and a fair amount of value. Finds Ada. Not ideal here, you're playing into possibly DS, very likely DS with that locker move. We've got to test out the waters here. No DS, massive. And this now is very important. Get ready for what could be a festival of Maury's here. Because if they get the unhook, don't get Devour Hope, 5 stacks on that, all of a sudden you've got these 1-hook survivors who are at risk of Maury's. As there was some movement here. They've come off the gen, but seemingly recently. Can Dracula find anyone? Doesn't look like it. Scratch marks here, okay. Just don't want to be brought back to the hook. So maybe heading over this way, teleporting to the pallet. No one around, what a shame. And obviously they know about Devour. They'll be delaying the unhook as much as possible. They don't want to give away these Maury's. They need to find these totems, and they've not been able to yet. Not a single totem yet has been cleansed, and it's Feng Min. Now, are they going to get the unhook here? They need to do so soon. They've really got to pick their poison now. As there goes a totem, it isn't Devour. It's ruin. And there's the 5th stack on Devour Hope. Needs this dying state, needs it desperately. Aura reading. It's a massive play from Dracula. Had to go for a gamble, had to take a risk, and rewarded with a Mori. The combination of human greed for the aura reading, Devour Hope for the Mori has just swung this game possibly back in Dracula's direction. YouTube audience, apologies for the blur there. Okay. And now he's back. And he's got an opportunity. There's someone on the periphery. It's V. Can Dracula close this down? Yes. It'll be another Mori. My word, what a comeback this is proving to be, all on the back of Devour Hope.
Destiny calls.
It does. It does. And the Nemesis camp are growing more concerned with every broken wine glass. What a situation we have here. There's no movement there. Back to the gem patrols. And even now, if they were to find Devour Hope, you have to say the damage may have already been done. There is some movement here. Oh, and there's a survivor. They were floating. They thought they were safe. They're anything but. And then there was one at the moment. It's 11 hooks. Dracula needs to go bats, needs to get to hatch as soon as possible. It will spawn immediately. Do they know? Are they aware? We'll soon find out. The hatch has spawned. Teleporting over. Can he shut it? Can he deny it? Yes, he can. It's gates. What a game this has been. What a perk Devour Hope is. Just hoping for the bubble to leave. Okay. No one there. This is tough now, if you're Dracula. They're really tough gates. You can go bats, but bats are very susceptible to the gate tech where you just hold off on activating the lights. You can see the lights, but you can't see the survivor when you have the bats. So doing a conventional patrol here and hoping that it works out. The gates aren't as bad as you might imagine. Will there be enough? What will Ada do here? Can she do anything? Very predictable patrol path here from Dracula. But you get the feeling there might just not be the opportunity to make the play that they want to make. They could be going key. They could be going for the key, getting the hatch that way. It's certainly a possibility. There is very little time left on the endgame timer. If they're making a move, they've got to do it now. They're not there. One more pass, and it should be all over. Oh, there they are. One light will not be enough. GG. GG. What a performance from him. And what a game. Why not go for the fourth? I'm doing some editing anyway. GG.
Impeccable timing.
And this game brought to you by Devour Hope. Nemesis needs the 4K to get the draw. Can he do it? We'll find out. Wow. Okay, Temple of Purgation. Nemesis needs a good game. Has immediate intel with Lethal Pursuer. Pretty handy quality of life perk right there. Someone goes downstairs, someone going around the right-hand side. Just informs your early patrol. So it does. You see everyone running clockwise. If you follow them, you can start to cluster them all up. Two people hiding side by side. Gonna take the whip on Shane. Go for Alan. Opportunity here. Have a whip there. Already tier 2. And that right there, just the power of Lethal Pure, but tried a mind game there. Just got caught on the masonry. Or as Alan heads back, keeps on going. And that'll be an M1, okay. Big opportunity here. Big, big, big opportunity. Pallet's gone. We're trying to get back to the other pallet. This is a race that Nemesis will win. And able to get another hit out there for more mutation rate. Great stuff. So the hook here, and then again following that clockwise path that the survivors were originally taking. You know, Shane, probably gone over there, might be on that gen. You know, someone is downstairs on the gen below. That might be the more surefire thing right now. So down he goes. And there is a lot of movement here. Big opportunity for nowhere to hide and eruption. Or a reading there. And this is perfect for Nemesis because they think they're hidden. And actually in a spot where one hit can really quickly become the dying state. So there's the first hit. Following up. And as we're seeing, just nowhere really to go. And a huge opportunity now for a massive dying state into eruption down there. Still a 5-gen game. A gen probably will pop somewhere out there. And there it goes. But keeps that downstairs one on side, and that was moving a great deal. Looking for tier 3 as soon as possible. Gonna take a zombie whip with that aim. Zombie pressuring that gen in case there's any movement there. This is okay. This is very, very, very okay. That gen is not okay, though. Wasn't really anticipating that either. What a shame. Just speaks to how much gen pressure there is in these games. Did a really good job on that one. Horrible, horrible whiff there. They just had the opening, and that's the easiest dodgeable time for Shane. Needs that tier 3. Needs it fast. Good hit there. Zombie up ahead. Forces Shane's head back. Oof, gets the pallet. Not the worst thing in the world, as long as you can close it down relatively quickly. Missing there is a real shock and a real shame. There you go. That's what you needed. So gonna get rid of this pallet while he's here and then take the hook. Lots to like if you Nemesis here. It's not a perfect opening. Obviously, losing those 2 gens is a shame. Someone could have easily got back on a downstairs gen now that the unhook has happened. Might be losing that quite soon as well. Needs tier 3. Does lose the downstairs gen. Might be able to catch someone as they emerge here. They go into the heart of the downstairs chamber. Good hit. That's tier 3. That is very important indeed. That quicker recovery. The zombie hit. That's huge. That's massive. That's a dying state. Okay. And then so many more options are available to you when tier 3 is in effect. So even though there has been substantial gen pressure, and it's a precarious situation, especially considering that the 4K is necessary, there is every chance that the Nemesis can rally, make some good plays, and bring this game back. The only thing is that 3-gen is pretty atrocious, or the 3-gen prospects here are pretty atrocious for him. Scratch marks going this way, but then nowhere to be seen. Obviously you're going to search a locker in such a situation, and there you go. You couldn't quite believe it. But that is exactly what happened, and no DS either, so it will be a hook. But right there, another gen popping. Oh, and the zombies are not inspiring much confidence here either. There was a survivor, Nicolas Cage, on the hill. The gen pressure has been extraordinary, and a lot of it will have been Nicolas Cage who's been able to ply his trade without any incident and without any pressure on the part of Nemesis. As that was a really weird looking bolt. As they get caught on the pallet. Nemesis will have to kick. But a big opportunity here for what you hope will be a dying state and a death hook. Almost loses V. All but finds them again. The vaccine there is a risky maneuver with Nemesis still in the area. Just bringing that down. Okay. Oh, big opportunity. Big opportunity. M1 here. Not quite. Breaking the pallet. Going for the blind. Not quite going to make that. Okay. Whip there. Hey, the more people not on gens, the happier Nemesis will be. There's not a lot of movement on the hill right there. Free drop could be in play. It is. There's the hit with the whip. And another person trying to take hits. This could be huge. As V sticks on the pallet, there is wide open throttle into live. Oh! Good restraint to not bring that down. Yeah, and it has to be this chase. It's very simple. You need a way of making this a 3 survivor situation. Tier 3 gets the hit. Can you get the grab before they get under the pallet? The blind is not going to be there. It will be a 3 survivor game. Massive, massive play for Nemesis, who had to find a way of putting a dampener on the gem progress and getting rid of survivor. A very good way of doing that. Big opportunity here. That does hit. That does hit. Quite fortunate that hits. And there's the hindrance. And this is what Tier 3 can do for your games. Quick recovery. Quick mutation. Oh, good restraint on the pallet there. Big opportunity here. Good hit again. Finding a way of just sneaking through these hits on Nicolas Cage. Trying to make a play there. Flees the tile. This is tough, though. I mean, the gens could still be moving here. Oh, well played. Good dodge. And that's not going to connect over that shoulder-high wall. It's always gutting when that happens if you're Nemesis. Just might just take the M1 here. As there goes the final gen. Yep, just too much time bought. There is still no way out. We'll be hoping to get the 4th stack. Doesn't. It's not over. He'll be very, very grateful that he did end up running. No way out here. Big opportunity. Not going for the window. M1 will be on the table. Ah, it's dead hard. Of course, it's dead hard. What a shame. Just didn't have a lot of time. Oh, but finds Shane at a really opportune time. They get the unhook. There is the M1. This is a huge opportunity. There is still time during which the gate panels are blocked. Although, will this be a situation where you're really ruining the lack of that 4th stack? It will be a 2 survivor game. And there should just be time to get back to that gate by Shaq. As Nicolas Cage gets the vaccine over there. Oh, hang on. And presumably, Alan has just blinded the zombie on the left. Ah, but no sight or sound of him. Okay. That's decent intel. So the vaccine was over here. The zombie chasing someone in this direction, but no real sign of where they've gone afterwards. No gate movement there. And a couple of injured parties. It isn't over, as there are scratch marks in Shaq. And there's Nicolas Cage. Okay. This has to be closed down really quickly. You can't afford any time for Alan to be on that gate, as that's a great vault on the Z wall to get away with live. And that might be the dagger in the heart of the Nemesis camp here. No gate movement there. How about by Shaq? Is it Alan Wake? Does he have it moving? No, no lights. Okay. Where is Alan in this situation? Still no movement on that gate panel. But this is the person you don't want to be chasing here, Nicolas Cage, who's kind of responsible for the gate situation as it presents itself. Managed to find another pallet here. Whip connects. Crouch Tech has claimed another M2 as the gate is open. And the whip misses. Had to connect there. And that will be the 8 hooks. What a shame. Really spirited effort there, but just didn't quite have enough in the end game. GG, 8 hooks, not enough. A fantastic victory for the Dark Lord. Nemesis suffers his first loss of the tournament. Alright, so that means that regardless of what happens in our next matchup, Dark Lord will be top of Group E as we leave round 2. It'll be Mastermind versus the Unknown. Wesker, Dead Sands. In a highly competitive group, Wesker, you feel like doesn't need the 3 points here to stay in contention. There's some strong killers in this group. This might end up being the group of death that we were prophesizing earlier on. And finds Rebecca all the way over yonder. A thematic first chase here for Wesker. As he is immediate M1. And looking for an opportunity for the bounds. Has an opportunity here. Oh, not quite, but does close down the gap. They don't drop. Do they go window? They do. They don't make it. Good mind game from Wesker. First hook. Advantage Mastermind. Oh, big advantage Mastermind. There's the DC. That is absolutely preposterous. You've been seeing it a lot. Can he get to the pain res hook? Maybe with the DC feeling even more encouraged to do so, because even if the bot wiggles, hopefully it shouldn't be too difficult of a second chase. Gets pain res out there. Movement on this gen. This isn't the pain res gen. But sees another Rebecca Chambers. And, oh, not quite going to get the bound grab there. Very close. Do they run through? They do. For the bounty here, maybe. Oh, didn't have the second. Otherwise, it would have been a great mind game. It's a tough tile here. Surely the pallet will be dropped. But not before they take the injury. Second bound in play. They don't go into Shack, interestingly enough. Could there be an opportunity here? Gotta go window. They go back, but too late. The medium vault will do nothing. And it will be a second hook and a second pain res hook. Looking to keep it a 5-gen game for as long as he can. Decent stuff here. And obviously when you have a bot in the game, you really want to find a way of taking that chase and often closing it down quickly. So see whether Wesker can find Rebecca again. It's not Rebecca, that's Kate. A bound here could work wonders to keep them in the periphery. Patience there, really good. Close to ideal. Would have been better if you could have flung them into the corner, but nonetheless, not a bad move from Wesker. Really tough now for Kate, as they'll vault and flee. 2 bounds to his name. Oh, good little double back there. Saw what Wesker wanted to do, countered it well, and that second bound. Pretty poor. Pretty poor from Wesker there. Still, a decent game. And the hope to bring this back. Oh, is that Rebecca? Is this the bot? It is the bot. This could be huge. Oh, as the bot gives away the M1 onto the pallet again. Looking for the bounce. Gets it. Will it be an injury? No. Oh, by the finest of margins, the dying state denied. It won't matter. There is finally the dying state there. First aid spray off to the right. That'll be the other Rebecca Chambers there. A fair chunk of gem movement. Just has to go around the wall here. Thankfully, V fled the gen entirely, so probably not going to commit to it. Wesker will have the opportunity to get that progressing. Looking to get back to the other gen as well, but Kate was moving. Is Kate making an aggressive play, staying here to finish this off? No. So another opportunity for gen progression. Decent stuff. Still a 5-gen game. For how long that will remain the case? That remains to be seen. Here's Rebecca. Sprint burst, presumably. Yep, there it is. Doesn't take an amazing line. Takes a pretty abject line with it, to be honest. Bound. Doesn't quite connect. Oh, and they send Wesker flying with the pallet drop there. Needed to do better, did Wesker. Had a real opportunity. Maybe should have just gone M1. There's a vault. There's the unhook. Making this a 3 survivor game, denying them the opportunity to take advantage of the bot. Denying the bot the opportunity to get on a gen. Very important here for Wesker. Oh, as the bot makes a huge mistake. Huge, huge mistake. That will be a dying state. And barring a bot decisive strike, this will be a huge get for Wesker. Okay, 3 survivor game with... Wow, I was going to say 4 gens left. It's with 2 gens left, and that does change things. We've seen this all tournament long, even in otherwise decent games. Still just some really strong gen pressure, and not a moment for the killers to think. So, all the more important that Wesker has made it this 3 survivor situation. That'll be the M1. No pallet burnt there. Looking for the bound. Oh, and that's a big, big move from Wesker. Very, very nice mind game. And we'll get pain res, and could be well worth it. There is a gen all the way over yonder that had some progress and could be being worked on right now. And Wesker thinks that might be exactly what he's heard there with that scream. So away he goes, and there is some movement here. And scratch marks. As it's not Kate, but Rebecca. Rebecca, who's been pretty good since that opening chase, that opening dying state. Oh, there was someone else here as well. Hang on. This isn't all just Rebecca. Never mind. Apparently it is all just Rebecca. Weird. That's a strange set of scratch marks there. But Kate went back for the unhook. Fascinating. Not a bad move. Looking for the bound. Gets it. Doesn't get it. Fine. Fine. Charges up the second bound. Goes again. Looking for a way to turn the corner. Good play from Rebecca. Wesker has to leave. As the unhook was over here. V gets healed. Kate does not. Kate now gets healed. They've done the reciprocal heals. They can't be too far from the hook. And indeed, there is V. Good bound. Good injury. No pallet drop. Oh, big opportunity here. Going to kick the pallet preemptively. They drop that preemptively. They're both preempting one another. And this is a dying state. Good move again. 6th hook for Wesker. 2 gens left. What an interesting game state. Could really go either way here. Looking for a long distance bound on Rebecca. Gets it. That's massive. Oh, but Kate was there as well and finishes off the gen. And Wesker just briefly caught in 2 minds there. Just gets caught on the wall. Opportunity.
Are you trying to make
Didn't quite have the distance with the lunge that he needed there. As there's the bound and the second. And no time to respond. And a hook. Huge, and you have to say, very necessary play there from Wesker. What are these scratch marks? There's just a bug that just gives scratch marks around a hook. Marvellous. Look into that one, please, behaviour. That was very confusing. Right, so this is the pressure point, so needs to get some compression here. Away he goes. Can you see anyone moving in for the unhook immediately? No, and there's the heal over here. There's the first aid spray over here as well. This should be where both survivors are. Oh, and it is, and there's Kate. Big opportunity here. Massive opportunity to get the bound, and he does eventually on the second time of asking. Pain res would be very, very, very important here for Wesker. That's what he'll be looking for. As they go for the pallet. Vaulting over. Massive play, and should be the dying state. Nice. Oof. Rebecca just running past the pain res hook. Not committing to it, but is committing to the gen. Wow. You can't do that if you're a survivor off the hook. You've immediately run, tap the gen, and now Wesker has the immediate intel that there is no decisive strike, no endurance, nothing to worry about here whatsoever. Big opportunity here for Wesker to make this a 2-survivor game, finally. Bound, needs a second. Oh, and it doesn't connect. Can you get the M1? They've got a vault, surely. They do. And that's a dying state. And again, tapping the gen. And not entirely sure why. Probably getting a little bit antsy, wanting that endgame, but making a huge mistake. Right in Wesker's line of sight. And that will be a 2-survivor situation. V is death hook. Kate has 1 hook to her name. And assuming they are not able to commit to this gen, never mind. Never mind. A twist in the tail. They do get the gen. And now Wesker is under a lot of pressure as both survivors are here. Looking for Kate. Gets a dying state. Gonna take the hook immediately. V in the vicinity as well. Ask the question of them. What kind of game do they want to play? Seeing the scratch marks here. As away they go. Hang on, were they running back? They were going this way, but then they stop. Oh, that's a shame for Wesker. That's a real shame for Wesker. Looking to stay on top of where they were, looking to keep them in sight. They've just performed an evasive enough maneuver. Oh, but no way out to the rescue. And there they are. This is huge. Now, really just playing a game of keep away. You do not want V getting the unhook here. Looks like, unfortunately, that's exactly what they will do. So it will be a trade. But Kate will have an even harder time of staying away from Wesker here. As he gets the hook, we'll be looking to deny Hatch, of course. As Kate just runs around Shaq here. The Hatch could have been a nightmare. That could have been really tough. And you have Hatch here. No delay this time. There it is. There it goes. And now just a search for Kate Denson. And here she is. And with 1 bound, it could end this thing right here. G. What a game from Wesker. Very, very challenging. Back and forth stuff. Credit to them. They did get all the gens in trying circumstances with that early DC. Wesker in the end just had enough. And everything to do for the Unknown, who needs the 4K. Unknown on Swamp. Very poor opening game. And if Unknown doesn't salvage a tie here, not mathematically eliminated, but my god, the path to the playoffs will be exceptionally narrow. And this is not the map that it would have wanted. But it's the map that it has to deal with. There's no movement on main. To come back. Ooh. There was gen movement there. Went for the UVX, backed out of it. Could have made a play there. Could have made a play there. One thing it must remember is the vault perks that it has. Getting those out there is going to be very important. That's something that it didn't do in the opening game. Going for the UVX. Which doesn't connect. Hey Young, off to the pallet. Oh, nope. Keeps on moving. Finds another tile, keeps on running. UVX. Won't connect there either. Vanishing Box does give some UVX out there. That will have to be enough. There's the M1. Oh, the frame skip. Almost denying Unknown there. What a shame that would have been. As there's a vault, there's Bamboozle, there's a 7% haste from Unbound. And that might be enough here to close down this chase. It will be. Okay, there you go. So losing a gem is a shame. It wasn't a fantastic chase. But at the very least... Oh, as they go for the blind. Not quite able to make that happen. At the very least, using the Vault perks well. And opportunity here as they get rid of the weakened state. That's a damn shame. Would have loved the easy injury there. Doesn't quite get it. Got another UVX charging up around the tree. And... is he guessing at where they are? And guesses correctly. Okay. Bit of a lucky break there for Unknown. Oh, in a dying state. Hello. Hello. Signs of life from the Unknown. Maybe this won't be quite the easy ride that Mastermind was hoping for. Teleporting to main, making sure this isn't moving. And then trying to be a little bit devious and keep the survivors guessing as to where Unknown is approaching from here. As there's another teleport opportunity, another hallucination. There you go. Injury on Taeyang. And getting someone to second hook stage could be so vital for Unknown here. Going through UVX. It connects. Big opportunity here. Big opportunity here. Heading upstairs. Teleport up here. Great use of the hallucination. Okay. The only thing that you have to be saying, though, Unknown needs to start finding a way of using its gem regression perks. Pop Goes a Weasel has gone begging so far, as has Unforeseen. Kind of unlucky, just not found the gens that it needs to patrol. But good work from the Unknown, and this thing is not over. Looking to get a hallucination in amongst these gens. As Dwight gives away an injury. Volts back. What's going on here? Bamboozle, Unbound. Burns the pallet. Bit of a gift for the Unknown, has to be said. Still has that haste from Unbound. We'll probably still need the UVX here. It connects. What is Dwight doing? Getting a little bit overconfident, perhaps, and that will be a dying state. There's every chance this is Decisive Strike. Unknown's going to briefly slug here in case that is the situation that it sees. The unhook, the heal, running back for a potential recovery here. There's Sable. Through the trees. Oh, going for some kind of long distance UVX hit. Not quite able to land it. Oh dear, trying to find Dwight, but has lost him. Damn. Really couldn't afford to lose that opportunity. And now has to go elsewhere. The thinking was right, but the execution lacking, and now you're really thinking that Unknown could not afford to lose the opportunity to take that hook. Oh, I say just get rid of the weakened. UVX doesn't connect anyway. But still an opportunity for the M1. And that will be a hook. So even though the slug doesn't become a hook, it still slows the team down. The game state is looking okay. With how Dwight was playing, there really was every chance that that was Decisive Strike. Looking to get that through the tree, not able to do so. Sable evades again and just keeps on running here. Oh, gets the injury. Wow. That's a huge get for the Unknown. Absolutely marvellous play for the Unknown, and it will be a dying state again. And another hook, hopefully in time to find a gen, keep this game locked at a 2-gen kind of spot. Decent moves being made here from the Unknown. Putting up a real fight. Big opportunity here, looking for an injury via the UVX. Great UVX hit. Using the rock as coverage to stop them ridding themselves of the weakened state, and a big opportunity here. Right up ahead. Oh, a dying state, and it's Death Hook. They're shaking their head. They can't believe it. But the Unknown may have just blown this game wide open. Reports of the Unknown's death may have been greatly exaggerated as Pop Goes a Weasel. Keeping the game alive. A teleport back to the hook, just in time for the unhook. Big opportunity. UVX connects. Robin in play. M1 there. And a good UVX in Shaq could be absolutely huge for the Unknown. Gets the dead hard. They've dead harded the UVX. Unknown can't quite believe it. Nonetheless, still a big opportunity here. That won't quite connect, but Bamboozle into Unbound. Absolutely massive. And what a night and day difference this is from the Unknown's previous game. Using the perks, connecting with the UVXs, applying good game pressure here. It has certainly learned a lot of lessons, and it's looking for a good end game here. The gem that pops is not main building. That's a real shame. So there's a weakened party right here. And that's an injury right here. And Dwight not able to bring the pallet down. So a dying state right here. And for a short amount of time, it will just be Sable. But Sable is able to get the unhook there. Good work from her. Teleporting behind. Do they see this coming? No, they do not. Sable runs headlong into danger. Big opportunity here. One UVX could put this in a really good spot for Unknown. Oh, just millimeters short of where that needed to be. But another opportunity. Sable. Oh, trying to skim the UVX over the dining table. Not quite able to make that play. Still could be an opportunity here. Sable runs back. Avoids the UVX, but does not avoid the dying state. Another hook. The Unknown's 9th. It's been such a spirited effort from the Unknown. The gutting thing is this could all unravel still. With a hatch play or with just a gem popping. You know, it's such little margins for error here. As the unhook and they head upstairs. Scratch marks end. It could be Locker. It is not Locker. Oh, it's Robin. They're downstairs. They bring the pallet down. Oh, it was very, very brief intel that Dwight was actually dispelling a hallucination. That could have been huge if the Unknown were able to teleport there. Get that dying state. As it stands, it'll be dead hard. Dying state. And then there were 2. And now it's looking like the gen might not be the concern. Maybe now hatch is the only concern. As the unhook over here, Dwight was going for the dispel again. Not able to make it happen. It will be a hatch situation. Unknown will be close to Shack. Should be able to shut it. Hatch should not spawn before Unknown is there. This could be a famous, famous 4K for the Unknown. As Sable leaves the area. Unknown playing it safe, shutting the hatch. Sable does have adrenaline. Ran off in this direction. Can Unknown see her? And what you wouldn't give to be running no way out in this situation. Scratch marks. Up ahead. Running this way. There she is. And barring something truly unfortunate, Unknown has kept their World Cup hopes alive with this one. What a performance. Exactly when it needed to happen. Teleporting ahead. Ooh. Maybe a bit risky there. Maybe you could play it a bit more safely than that. You win this as long as you keep Sable in your sight. So maybe no flashy plays. Maybe just sticking to it. There's UVX. It does connect. And there's the next thing. What a game for the Unknown. The pressure was on, and it responded to it admirably. Marvellous work. GG. GG. Over to the spreadsheet, because we can now finalise Group E after round 2. It's a tie between Mastermind and the Unknown, which actually relegates Doctor to bottom spot. Let's sort the group. Let's sort the group and save the spreadsheet. Dark Lord on top. 2 games, 2 wins, almost perfect, 23 hooks and 6 points. Freddy in second, 19 hooks and 4 points to his name. Nemesis with 3 points and 20 hooks is in third. Mastermind was looking for the win to go joint second. Instead, it's a tie. Mastermind in 4th place with 2 points. Unknown in 5th place now, keeps hopes alive, 1 point. And Doctor languishing after 2 not bad games. 1 very dominant game, but it isn't enough. Bottom of Group E, 0 points. Nightmare scenario for Doctor.